Kilalanin natin ang new and loaded complete lineup ng Rain or Shine Elasto Painters para sa Pba 50th Philippine Cup Playoffs.
Point guards: Andre Karakut, veteran star, 5'8", 180 pounds, 29 years old, 11.7 points, 1.9 rebounds, 3 assists, 37% 3-point shooter, 75% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Anton Anasistio, 5'10", 175 pounds, 30 years old, 6.3 points, 1.2 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 43% 3-point shooter, 75% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Adrian Nocum, star player, 6 feet, 167 pounds, 26 years old, 15.2 points, 3.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.1 steals, 28% 3-point shooter, 69% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Shooting guards: Gian Mamuyak, rising star, 6'2", 165 pounds, 26 years old, 12.3 points, 3.6 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.4 steals, 15% 3-point shooter, 82% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Felix Lemeti, sophomore, 6'1", 170 pounds, 26 years old, 6.4 points, 3.1 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 17% 3-point shooter, 92% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Stanley Pringle, veteran star, 6'1", 185 pounds, 37 years old, 13.2 points, 3.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.1 steals, 37% 3-point shooter, 80% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Small forwards: Jonard Clarito, rising star, 6'2", 187 pounds, 29 years old, 11.7 points, 6.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 1.2 steals, 40% 3-point shooter, 72% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Mike Malonzo, sophomore, 6'3", 185 pounds, 25 years old, 5.3 points, 3.9 rebounds, 0.4 assists, 18% 3-point shooter, 82% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Sean Ildefonso, 6'2", 198 pounds, 27 years old, 3.9 points, 3.1 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 20% 3-point shooter, 75% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Gabe Norwood, playing coach, 6'6", 190 pounds, 40 years old, 5.5 points, 4.4 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 36% 3-point shooter, 70% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Power forwards:
Christian Manaytay, new rookie signing, 6'5", 205 pounds, 25 years old, 7.2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 23% 3-point shooter, 52% free throw shooter in his 2025 MPBL 7th season averages.
Kaylan Tiongson, rising star, 6'5", 204 pounds, 33 years old, 13.2 points, 5 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 38% 3-point shooter, 58% free throw shooter in his Pba 49th Philippine Cup averages. Leonard Santillan, 6'4", 210 pounds, 29 years old, 12.9 points, 7.8 rebounds, 1 assist, 28% 3-point shooter, 52% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Chris Porter, 6'5", 195 pounds, 30 years old, 3.4 points, 1.3 rebounds, 0.6 assists, 18% three-point shooter, 80% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages.
Mike Miranda, pending free agent, signing, 6'6", 210 pounds, 35 years old, 5.7 points, 2.2 rebounds, 0.2 blocks, 30% three-point shooter, 100% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Centers, Justin Chua, pending free agent signing, 6'6", 232 pounds, 36 years old, 3.5 points, 1.9 rebounds, 0.3 assists, 0.2 steals, 0.2 blocks, 33 field goal percentage, 50% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages.
Bo Belga, team captain, 6'5", 280 pounds, 38 years old, 2.3 points, 2 rebounds, 0.3 assists, 50% three-point shooter, 50% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Luis Villegas, comeback player, 6'7", 215 pounds, 28 years old, 2.5 points, 2 rebounds, 0.5 blocks, 25% three-point shooter, 40% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Governors Cup averages.
Kit Datu, injured list,
6'8", 220 pounds, 29 years old, 7.1 points, 4.1 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 37% three-point shooter, 86% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages.
Ayon nga sa legit source na Spin.ph, ay kung kakausapin daw ni Stanley Pringle itong si C-Stand, ay baka mapilit nila itong bumalik sa PBA at magpa-trade sa Rain or Shine. Christian Standhardinger, pending sign and trade option, 6'8", 220 pounds, 36 years old, 15.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, 3 assists, 52 field goal percentage, 50% free throw shooter in his last PBA 49th Governors Cup averages. Ito ang new and loaded complete lineup ng Rain or Shine Elasto Painters para sa PBA 50th Philippine Cup playoffs. Sa tingin niyo mga kababos, kung makuha ng Rain or Shine si Bulldozer, ay may chance ba silang makapasok ulit sa PBA Finals? I-comment nyo na po yan sa baba.